Here's our scoop for tonight. We have 16 poets. The show's 1 hour long. Everything you see is written by them, performed by them, choreographed by them, everything by them. All I do basically, me and Demi, the TA, we just kind of show up and yell at them and kick them out of class now and then and walk out on them periodically to get them to try harder, and they seem to do it, and they are really excited. Please, if you guys have cell phones, please put on vibrate, or silent, or off, or out the room, etc. The thing curious is who in the audience has never been to a spoken word performance before? Excellent, excellent. So what I have to tell you then is what you give out is what is going to come back to you. The more energy you throw at them, the more they're going to come back and throw it at you. The better audience we have, that's why we love this space, because it packs up and we can see everyone here and everyone's present and accounted for, and they're going to come out and they're going to rock your world. There's some amazingly funny things, amazingly poignant things, amazingly angry and crazy and sexy, and you'll see sides of people you know. Feel free to yell at them, scream, charge, throw underwear, whatever it is you want to do that makes you happy, but just energize. Everyone with me? Is everyone with me? First poet. Yana, Nebachina, come on.
I see you. Oh, sorry.
So the other day I watched this documentary about happiness. Apparently how happy you are depends 50% on your genetics, 40% on personal initiative, and 10% on your circumstance. 10%? I live in a sunny place by the ocean with my best friends. The sunsets are beautiful. I go to school. I have enough for food, music, and weed. And all of that amounts to a shitty 10%. I feel like I won the lottery and then got paid out in Monopoly money. So 50% you inherit from mommy and daddy, and it forms this baseline that you hover around, your equilibrium point. Well, my equilibrium point sits smack dab between an anal, neurotic workaholic and a party animal midlife crisis. The last 40% results from the personal initiative you take to make yourself happy by exercising, cultivating your relationships, and trying new things. Last Saturday, I slept for 20 hours. I hate assholes, snobs, and fakes, and so I have to avoid like half of Ivy's population. And as for hobbies, I like to get high in my living room. These little Lego Tetris animation things inform me that dopamine is the main chemical in the brain responsible for happiness. It's also responsible for addiction. I considered all the things I'm addicted to. Skippy Super Crunch peanut butter, but only Skippy Super Crunch. Sex, fighting people, fixing people, string cheese. I used to eat like 30 sticks of string cheese a day. Thank you, Costco. Cuddling, success, hair color, obviously, sleeping, obviously, yerba mate, also known as crack juice. The first time I drank a bottle, I could feel the bones in the lower part of my face going like this. So I started drinking 3 bottles a day. Fashion, jerking it, Marlboro menthol smooths, Camel Crushes and Newports, weed and beer, jewelry, Adderall. I have snorted so much Adderall in the library bathroom. Hip-hop, pills, Xanax, codeine, Oxycontin, ecstasy, anti-epilepsy. Did I say hip-hop? Avatar. I saw Avatar in theaters 4 times. I wish I was a Na'vi with every bone in my body. And no, that's not why my hair is purple, but it is why for Halloween I covered myself in blue latex body paint and glitter. Love, Pinnacle whipped cream flavored vodka, Pelicans, Criminal Minds, South Park, Seinfeld, Lost. There are 121 episodes of Lost, 42 minutes an episode. I watched all 121 episodes in 2 weeks. That's 8.5 episodes a day. Running, God, books, Tumblr, mostly for the clothes and porn. I am so grateful to Tumblr. It taught me how to dress and how to fuck. I guess you would say I have an addictive personality, filling that missing dopamine with my obsessions, and it's one after another. Whenever I grow bored or tolerant, there's always something new, and I always push the limit, always wanting more. And I flirt with that ledge, wanting to see if I can fly, dying to escape. But the guilt from my 10% of circumstance won't let me try. So now I'm stuck in this limbo, and there's only two ways out, and one day I'm gonna have to step up to the table and place my bet, but maybe wasting your life is just as selfish as ending it. So I'm gonna get to work on my personal initiative so that the odds are 50-50 instead of 90-10.
It's the kind of thing where I'm walking down a path, and it's more appealing to me to be greeted by a pine cone that falls from a tree and lands perfectly upright next to my right foot with a fantastic thud than it is to be greeted by someone that I sort of know. It's the kind of thing that reminds me of this picture on the wall of my family's condo in Japan. It has this little cartoon painting of a stout old mustache man with steam blowing out of his ears, and the caption says, "Every day is one of those days." It's the kind of thing that you can smell when you dive headfirst into a pillow of fog on an autumny morning, and someone says, "Oh my God, it's like raining." Or it's like how I walk, hold my breath over bridges, always step over cracks in the sidewalk with my left foot, and never ever step on grates in order to ensure that I have a good day. It doesn't end there. When I open a new pack of gum, I take the second piece from the left. When I'm grabbing something off the shelf, I take the second one from the left. When I'm receiving a phone call, I can't answer until at least after the fourth buzz. And when I'm writing a text message, I will construct the words in such a way that the number of characters will add up to a good number. Good numbers consist of 8, because 8 is infinity that chose a side to stand on, and it's fun to write. 2, because all good things come in pairs, mommy and daddy, right and left, night and day, life and death, yin and yang. And the number 4, because I was born in April. It builds up like dirty bowls and rusted spoons in our sink, each with a little puddle of foodie water. Or it's like a life-changing experience brought to you through YouTube and this guy named Andy McKee or Peter Kingsley or something. It's like this recurring dream that I have where I come to a gap. The situation's always different, a crevice in the mountains, pink and blue rooftops, but I can never get myself to jump across. I'm always too scared to make that leap of faith, and I get left behind. It's the kind of thing that I can hear when I listen to Early Morning Rain by Peter, Paul, and Mary. And there's this one phrase in the guitar and the harmonies surrounding it that gives this sort of tingling, lingering. It makes me feel like all is well in the world, or maybe all was well when they wrote the song, and maybe the universe sent me here at the wrong time. Rachmaninoff does it too in his Piano Concerto No. 3, Movement 1. Around 9 minutes in, these chords, rich as a shower of chocolate wine, and this one note, like tug of war, or like when you have a loose tooth, you push on it and it aches so good. That makes me feel so alive because it reminds me that I'm dying. It's the kind of thing that drives me crazy with the comfort that there's no such thing as silence. Do you hear the air conditioner? Do you hear the giggles? Do you hear my breath? Sometimes it's the kind of thing that makes me forget my name. My name is Shio, for the ocean tide at morning, rising with the sun and pulled by the moon's moods as she grooves to the tides of time. It's the kind of thing that nags at you because we can't touch what's crawling under our skin. We can't pinch the places that make our mouths drop, nostrils flare, eyeballs roll, or where it hurts to laugh. And so I make my way to the sea and see the waves breaking laughter. I place my feet in the footsteps that bleed into the horizon, the crunch of sand between my teeth as the mysteries unfurl, one after another.
I am a man. am a man with long hair. And other men be green with envy. When I turn around, they stop and they stare. They like what they see. Ooh, they want to gain entry. They want a love affair with me. You see, I am a man with long hair. And see? I know what you're doing right this second. Yeah, you over there. You're imagining me in the nude. You beckon my attention. You see me grinding. I'm grinding. But nope, sorry dude, I'm grinding with this chick right now. I'm not trying to get that dick because I am a man with long hair. And now you're stuck in another dimension. You see my curls, my hips swaying, and the baby making ocean music playing, emotions weighing down. Your dick just got an extension. You can't stop Newton's first law of motion because I am a man with long hair. Your pores ooze of Red Bull vodka, the kind of booze that causes drama, uproar, unlike the principles of the Dalai Lama. You think I'm some kind of whore? I'm not your little mama. Dude, I'm a man with long hair, but you can't resist my lewd gyrations. Your dick insists on a pleasurable sensation. I feel your dick on my ass. What? I swing around. Whoa, dude, I'm a man. I'm a man with long hair. Then it clicks. Oh, now you're in shock because you thought I was a lady. I'm in shock because I thought your cock was going to give it to me, baby. Here, Rick James just warming up. I know you can't just fish I'll never catch. I don't have a snatch. You made a terrible mistake because I'm straight. And now this is awkward because I am a man with long hair. And this is the story of my life. Everywhere I go, guys want to make me their wife for just one night. But they don't know my plight. They don't know about my constant fight for masculinity and how they're making it so difficult for me. You see, it all started back in middle school when Wesley Taylor called me gay. Why me? I don't know, maybe because my innocence was still in preschool. Then in high school, they called me GB as I walked through the hallways. And I embraced it. I embraced every bit about it. Yes, I'm a GB. I'm a good boy, I thought, until I found out what it actually stood for. Gay boy. When are you going to come out of the closet, GB? Never, I'd respond. Never, never, never. I didn't know I was being conned. They were my friends, and I guess I had no way to prove to them that I wasn't gay because I never had a girlfriend. And the one girl, Holly, who could have been my girlfriend, who told me she liked me, I lied to her and told her I was gay because really I just didn't like her. I know it sounds silly, but really and truthfully I just wasn't happy with myself. Can you hear my breath? So when I came to college, I decided that I was going to change who I was. I was going to change what I looked like. I was going to change how I acted. I was going to be more manly. From Neil the GB to Neil the real deal. From young, innocent, naive Neil to hung, magnificent, well-achieved Neil. From Zoolander, they called me a GB pop, to Samuel L. Jackson. Enough is enough. I've had it with these motherfucking dicks on this motherfucking body. Yeah. It was gonna be the biggest change since Obama. I stopped wearing Toms. I started wearing Vans. I stopped listening to John Mayer. Started listening to Too Short. Stopped using ovens. Started using grills. Stopped eating black pepper. Started eating ghost pepper. Stopped plucking. Started, unibrow. Stopped applying green tea face mask. Started applying Fizz Face. Stopped calling mom. Started calling booty. Stopped doing push-ups. Started doing bench press. Stopped going to acting class. Started doing bench press. Stopped doing bench press. Started doing bench press. Stopped cutting my hair. Started growing long locks. You see, I wanted to rebel against myself. And it wasn't until that night 2 years ago when I was getting high in the bathroom with my friends for the very first time that I realized that I was not being true to Neil. That I could not escape that non-smoking, Tom's wearing, John Mayer listening, mama loving, oven using, push-up doing, hygienic thespian who enjoys having long hair because of not only Delta Gamma girls and freshmen, but also because it's the one thing that keeps people from calling me gay. And it's helped me deal with this problem. And now I don't care if you call me gay or if you call me a GB because I, Neil, know that I know that I'm straight. And even if I was gay, I'd be proud. But I'm straight, and I'm going to prove it to you right now. Tonight. Is Genevieve in the audience? Genevieve. I am a man with long hair. Will you go on a date with me?
Yes, I will.
A cat. Yeah. A fluffy furball gagging cat. A shit in the corner in the bathroom and a litter box kind of cat. I shed and you die from allergies kind of cat. Chase mice, eat fish, Tom not Jerry kind of cat, lick myself for pleasure, disguised as cleaning kind of cat because cats have 9 lives. Each one of those lives would represent a part of me that I never knew I had but was somehow holding on to like a family heirloom that never belonged to me. But y'all don't understand, so I'm just gonna list some backwards and bullet points for y'all. Life 9, I would be wealthy. I wouldn't have to be rich, but this daily routine of going to class and school and work and back to work and more classes got to switch because I feel like I've worked overtime and deserve a vacation. The way that my days roll into the next and the hours that I sleep sneak closer to 0, sometimes for me rest becomes a joke. But forget about any weekend, vacation, or summer getaways because I'm just too damn broke. Life 8, I would be invisible. Not only to supply my monetary dissatisfaction for, robbing a bank without worry with the thoughts of being caught and going to jail, but also to check my moral thermometer and see if I'm happy with the choices that I make while I am invisible and probably fail. Life 7, I would be a little white girl. Hair and eyes colors only significance is that I can have a toy, a gadget, life-size Barbie that looks like me, and they'd be everywhere. So no matter where I shop, I could never go wrong. Unlike me, who was never really into Barbie dolls, but was truly disgusted to find out that the first black rat doll came with a thong. Really? Shaking my damn head. Like, who the hell gives an 8-year-old a doll with a thong? Woosah. Life 6, I would be obese. Yes, obese. I would have a body full of the key ingredient that most guys and some girls only value in certain places, but me, I would have it all. Full thighs, full cheeks, both kind, and full breath. If I can love myself, although society scorns me for not having the perfect body mass index and make me feel more guilty than the girl in the bathroom gagging herself to death, I will be prepared for whatever happens next. Life 5, I was split in half. The first part of my 5th life, I would want to be a man. I want to know what it feels like to walk the streets in IV and not be concerned that someone's going to snatch me and grab me into their creepy-ass van. And I want to know how to have a nightly run without my body responding in its acute stress response syndrome. Yeah, I know it's fancy, huh? That's only flight or fight, which for me is usually fight, unless it's the dog. Since I'm a cat, it'd be flight. When I was traveling abroad in Ghana, Africa, I went on this canopy walk and I was many kilometers above the ground. But for the second half of my 5th life, I want to be a heterosexual white man. Because although I've been far above the ground, I have yet to know what it feels like to be on the top of the world. If I had that, I don't really need lives 4 and 3. So for life 2, I would be a happy 8-year-old girl with the mother and father's love that every child should have. I wouldn't be the 8-year-old girl that knows the walls of almost every drug rehab in 213 and 562 area code because her mother had a problem, an addiction. I wouldn't be the 8-year-old girl who was scared to go to sleep, scared of the dark because she was always left alone in strange places where strange people roam, looking for something to take. Not little things like a couple of ounces of smack. Oh no, much bigger things from 8-year-old girls that no one can ever give back. Now, I've told you my lies from 9 to 2, and if I could on a daily basis change myself, I would. But from further consideration, there's only one life that can truly set me free. So, if I could, my number one life, I would be a white man. Lights!
I would like to make an announcement because things may begin to get a little bit unclear, but all of this right here is about numbers. This is about numbers. But I'm awful with numbers. When I was in 5th grade, I used to cry during my math tests because they were too hard and there wasn't enough time and my pencil just broke and numbers are stupid and my teacher Actually, now I realize my teacher was kind of hot, but math and I were so not friends, and I think I'm so prejudiced against pencils because that is the instrument in which we are trained to make mistakes. But I have this list of numbers, It's written in the back of one of my notebooks, and it lists everything about me in equations, like 1 plus me plus the couch at my family friend's house. But I was super nervous because I've never done this kind of math before, but as soon as he subtracted the space between our lips, my friend appeared in the doorway and took a video. It's on YouTube. Number 3 plus me should have been the cutest fucking thing ever. They were stars in a bonfire, but 3's hair kind of looked like blonde pubes. But having something that's perfect or normal, well, that is an equation I never find myself available to solve, because my phone's ringing and it's my mother again, and she's asking, "Are you sure there aren't any boys in your life, sweetie?" And I say, "Mom, me plus 11 equaled 1 human-sized bunny suit, and me plus 12 was just him sucking on my boob, and the average of 18 and 23 is 2 failed gear shifts in less than a year. Me plus 15, separate equation. Me at age 13 travels forwards in time to give present me a high five because 15 was the cutest guy in my Hebrew school class, and all of us girls totally wanted to tap that in the super prude middle school way, and so plus 6 years, and I made out with his face. 4 plus me was minus my sobriety. He kisses my friend before me, but I don't really care because the square root of that is DGAF. I'm in high school, and I'm stoked to taste your tongue. Speaking of tongues, number 21 should subtract his from expanding in my mouth like putty. Speaking of tongues, number 9 texted me a picture that I swore was a peeled potato. It was a penis. Speaking of tongues, mine hurts from eating so much sour candy because I'm a walking romantic comedy without the romance who noms on sugar when my brain doesn't want to think. And oh, how I have paced these floors and rattled over formulas attempting to figure why we just aren't working, but in the end, it is always an absolute value of no, we will not be sexing tonight. No, I do not like going to raves, and no, you cannot go down on me. We just fucking met, you weirdo, because this is about numbers. All of this is written in the back of that notebook, a notebook that looks so nice I don't usually write in it, but there are a few pages for all of the previously stated, those like 5 who tasted of salt and 10 who laughed into my hair, 20 loved my freckles, and 23 was only attracted to me after hearing my poems, but I calculate that considering I am currently plus 0, this isn't solving anything because this isn't about counting or making lists. This is about knowing all the names by heart, about never again apologizing for moving back from someone else's hands. This is about saying sorry too much and that torn stomach feeling I get when I look at these pages. This is about wishing that by the time I finally finish this piece, I won't be able to perform it because I will have a guy who cares about me. And this is about wishing I could perform this for someone who cares secretly, and then they will slip madly and irrevocably into sadness for me because love is too deep a pool to tread in, and I could never tread water anyway, so instead we will just float or sink or get out of the pool and dry off, because if this is about remembering the ones you care about, well, I have a list of numbers, but none who ever call or cry or write or remember me, and it's getting really fucking hard to be memorable. I have kissed 25 guys, but I've never had one hold my hand. But 26, you potential real number, you rascal, you. Well, 26, you are going to matter. No pressure, random guy, but maybe this isn't about what I thought originally. Maybe this is about giving the narrator of the story a chance. This is about that holy shit, I am here moment, and I have 2 fucking hands and feet, and this is about not sitting back in your seat and living life autopilot content. This is for those moments of panic, those jittery heels, heart pulsing in your face. Maybe I'm the one who has the wrong impression. So to make an announcement, I am single and alive, and everything is unclear. 25 minus 25 leaves us with 1.
Keys, sandals, cell phones, buttons, lighters, earplugs, boys. Mostly I lose boys. I just can't seem to hang on to them for long enough. In high school, I was the girl always in a relationship. But then my senior year boyfriend decided to dump me 2 weeks before I came to college. So I came here with an agenda. I want a boyfriend. I met lots of boys who liked me for a while, but nobody who wanted to be my boyfriend. I'm really good at the talk. I make it seem like it's not the talk. I plan it out so he has no idea it's coming, then boom, I attack guerrilla style. Take Corey, for instance. After 5 months of talking and hooking up, I started to develop feelings for him, but I didn't know where we stood. So I asked him over to study, and we took a break out on my patio. This is where I always take my prey. I asked him if he saw this going anywhere, or what he was thinking. He said, yeah, we should definitely hang out more. I want to be friends. I thought, awesome, same page. Wait, friends? He starts to get up. Not so fast, buddy. So just to make sure we're on the same page, we're gonna continue hooking up, but hang out more, right? Oh, yeah, it's just not really clicking for me, you know? Oh, okay, I see. Was it not clicking for you while I was sucking your dick? Why would you want to be friends if nothing was clicking for you? Go fuck yourself, we were never friends. Instead, I smile and nod my head. Yeah, I know what you mean. And another one bites the dust. I finally got one, though. Took me over 3 years, but I got one. He's there for me, he cares about me, he listens when I'm sad. I've never felt this way about a boy before. I've fallen in love for the first time. One night we were walking along the beach, eating ice cream and sharing our secrets. Most of them were funny, some more serious than others. He picks his nose in the car. He leans in to kiss me, and I decide I'm ready to tell him how I feel. I love you. You love me, he asks. I nod my head yes. The moment is perfect. I wait. But that's okay, as I found an excellent way to cope with such disappointments. For what I lose in men, I gain in underwear. I'm talking panties galore. Some girls run to Ben & Jerry's to buy a tub of ice cream when they've been brushed off. Others go on a hookup spree, or, throw all of his belongings into a burning couch in the middle of Isla Vista. I wouldn't know. But I prefer therapy in the form of lace. Thongs, cheekies, boy shorts, tangas, hipsters, V-strings, I've got them all. And the most satisfying part, whatever boy rejects me will never see the underwear I buy afterwards. I average 3 panty purchases per therapy session. However, some men require more underwear purchases than others. I've compiled a list of instances in which it is acceptable to buy over 5 pairs per male. 1, I was seeing him for 5 or more months. 2, he cheated on me. 3, he had abs like Jesus. 4, Victoria's Secret is having a 7 for 25 sale. 6, I will need to do laundry within 1 week if I do not purchase more. 7, it happened during the month of August. 8, his name starts with the letter B. 9, his last name combined with my first name has a nice ring to it. Take Chris, for instance. He was a prick who rejected me after I told him I didn't want to give him a hand job. He only required 1 pair. Mark, on the other hand, we hooked up for 4 months, and then he asked some freshman to his fraternity's winter formal. Obviously, it was okay to buy 7. Then there were extreme cases such as with my ex-boyfriend, Brett. Brett and I dated for 6 months. Automatic 5. He cheated on me. 5 more. I took him back. Then he dumped me on my birthday in August. 5 more. Then you can't forget to add 5 more on top of that because his name starts with the letter B. It gets quite exhausting. 203 pairs of underwear. A boyfriend. And 0 men to really care.
Poetry. I don't have sexy long hair, and I have a lot of panties, but what I wish I had was a girl to write about, because I'm gonna die a 40-year-old virgin, and I never know what to say to people. Like, at that one party, I tried to talk to that pretty girl, but I just couldn't. So I drank a full cup of jungle juice, and I still couldn't do it. So I drank another full cup of jungle juice. and I still couldn't do it. Because I threw up on a lawn on DP, broke the back of a pickup truck in Sueño. And then I asked her if she wanted to watch a beer and drink a movie. And now look what I'm doing. I'm telling you a personal, embarrassing story to try and get you to like me. Am I manipulating you? I am manipulating you. Like a wizard. Why didn't I ever get my Hogwarts letter? Why are there pages in books that say intentionally left blank when they're actually blank? And what if I could become the most interesting man in the world by drinking Dos Equis? And why are boobs so nice and squishy? Why is the word squishy so squishy? Like the word dick sounds longer than cock. Whereas a cock sounds short and stubby. Like the word friend zone rhymes with funny bone, but there's nothing funny when all you want to do is get blown in the head. And it just sucks when no one likes you and it blows. And why does sucking and blowing have to mean the same thing? How do blind people know when they're done wiping? And how does cat dog take shits? How did Hey Arnold get out with his mom's vagina? And what the fuck is a Teletubby? When dogs have sex in missionary position, they call it humany style? What if nobody laughs from me? And have you ever thought about how strange it is that we rhythmically slap our hands together to show appreciation for someone? What if instead we just went like, oh, okay, I actually lied to you earlier. I'm not gonna die a 40-year-old virgin. I've had sex before with 2 different women, multiple times. It really wasn't that great. But, okay, you don't even know my name yet. My name is Tung Vu Quang Ho, but it sounds better like this in reverse. Ho Guang Tung Vu. And I never had a friend come over to the house until I was 17. That's because when I was 13, I developed a heart condition called supraventricular tachycardia, which meant my heart would beat at 300 beats a minute, and my parents kept me inside all the time, and my mom wanted me to be a doctor. Có làm bác sĩ, làm Harvard, Yale, medical school, làm như vậy, doctor, làm như vậy, team nhá, làm như vậy, có phải làm như vậy. Well, I like gallbladders and spleens and playing myself, but I only play with them because they're really squishy, like unicorns and rabbits and tarantulas. Không làm như vậy được, phải làm lawyer, phải đi Harvard, đi Yale, làm như vậy, phải làm như Obama, Clinton, phải làm như Bush, làm như Obama nhá, làm như vậy nhá, làm như vậy. But mom, what I want to do is be a sexy fighter, yeah? Huh? You want that, mom? Huh? Yeah? You want to hear the siren? Wait. You like that, huh, mom? Wait. Mày làm nói à? Mày không phải là nói mày còn xuống kìa, đâu rồi? I wasn't mocking you, mom. I wasn't mocking. Mày không xuống, mày không phải là nói mày còn xuống. But okay, mom. But what I seriously want to do is be an artist. Art? Mày muốn làm art? Sao làm art? Mày sẽ chết đói. Mày không phải làm art. Sao mày làm art? Mày nói như vậy. Mày sẽ chết đói. Mày sẽ ăn chó. I don't want to eat dogs. You don't have to be an artist. Not all artists starve, you know. But mom, that's all I've ever wanted to do. I always wanted to touch people, to reach out to them. And it's my DNA. I think it's in all of our DNA. Ever since the caves of Lascaux, 17,000 years ago, where cavemen first painted on cave walls and left their handprints there to touch future generations. That's what I wanted to do, Mom. And I just wish I could share these thoughts of her, but I can't. So I share them all with you instead. Gammon band, sing about you. Gammon band, sing about you.
On a date dressed to look just right, and you pay like any gentleman would. I wear a pretty smile while in depressed denial because everything's fine, right? Just like you said, everything's just fine. My eyes glaze over with apathy as you continue to talk and entertain, pretending like these issues will just go away. Your cold words cracked my lips, and they broke open when I spoke, so I learned to keep quiet. No, please, you don't have to take my coat. You know, I'm always cold. My closet is just full of sweaters and flannels, and when have you ever seen my arms bare anyways? I can keep the conversation going, knowing everyone forgets the odd excuses. My sanity is sanctioned by little white pills, lorazepam, Wellbutrin, Lexapro, selective serotonin, dopamine deficiency, seasonal affective disorder, uncertain psychosis. The diagnosis turns to the orange bottles, which leads to obsession, fixation, infatuation. Some foreign policy domesticating my war zone mind as if my life was some fucking bureaucracy with the meds in command. But there's one thing I have power over. When I crave winter weather and no one bothers to ask why, my arms are always covered. I'm just cold-blooded, like I can't feel anything except for all the misery I've caused others around me. My ritual is punishment. My ritual is pleasure and pain. And when I open up my veins flowing rivers red, it escapes my prison body stitched together by a single thread. Wake up not remembering the violence, but with some happiness I hide in silence. It creates both a sense of shame and pride, always thinking about the next time I can look at the sublime beauty of the scarred history I've sculpted into myself. This isn't some emo growing up crisis sort of phase, because the cycle happens even on a good day, so habitual, so void of emotions that I don't even cry. The razor blade is my bed after a long day, the soft sheets that comfort me like a long drag of a cigarette needed to calm down the busy mind. Demons consume my brain, telling me I deserve the abuse and the pain, and my hands can't stop shaking. So I press my bloody arm to the lined pages and let my cells say everything that my words cannot. And I get by in life without anyone knowing. The best I get is some therapist saying, "Oh, you shouldn't do that. You don't deserve it." You don't think I feel insane when my own voice is telling me to drain my veins? I'm both Castor and Pollux, forever battling what's wrong and what's right. My practice becomes crucial ritual, the closest thing I have to anything spiritual. It's not reckless, but routine. Cut, clean, wrap, repeat. Cut, clean, wrap, repeat. Cut, clean, wrap, repeat. Cut, clean, wrap, repeat. Cut, clean, wrap, repeat, cut, clean, wrap, repeat. The uninhibited mind allows us to find the true worth of ourselves. So with every night of poison drinking, throat left burning, and thinking you are not worth the love you reserve, and I know this because you abuse my passivity so that you can be loved by me, too afraid to discover my skin-covered neurosis when you were the closest thing I had to a protector. And as our bodies were bare, my goosebump skin pressed to yours, you saw the marks on my arm and didn't say a word. And now you look at me from across the table and ask, what's wrong? I sit up straight and push back my hair. Nothing. And you shrug your shoulders as if you were the one carrying the weight of the world. Looks like I finally found my strength. Because it's this that defines me. It's these that make me who I am. It's this that defines me, and it's these that make me who I am, because now I have a new right to bear arms. And what I have to fight against this are my marks and scars.
Sometimes when life is moving fast, and shit, sometimes it just passes you by. There comes a time when you sit and stare at that wall in your room, countlessly for hours, wishing it could mirror the deepest part of your soul's trials and tribulations. And you're so wrapped up in a sea of white paint that before you know it, you're drowning in the most intimate, most secret heartbreaks. Mamá, yo me recuerdo when Tía Tere went to heaven and we went to la ciudad de Michoacán because you couldn't miss her burial. I was 6 years old and my little carnal was 1. And I have these vivid flashbacks of that blue van stopping so abruptly in a quick panic, a little cub not wanting to be parted from la mujer who bore her life. Mija, it's gonna be okay. But even the tight grip of my teeth down your blouse, howling screams didn't secure your stay with me, y no fue fácil para mí. And as if there was a heap of dead corpses on my chest, all I could feel were the hot tears running down my face with the tears of my brother in the backseat, only to be pacified by la bolsita de chicle los coyotes bought from the vendors on the streets to calm us down. Mamá, yo me recuerdo those lonely nights without you by our side, mi papá working so hard to save money to bring you back to the States because the coyote had scammed out of $3,000, so He couldn't take care of us, but humildemente always bringing us those little crackers we used to dip in cheese. So every time I eat those now, I remember his humble gifts. Mamá, yo me recuerdo esas noches when family friends would bring us close to where my brother would get so scared and cry and hide behind me. So early on, I learned to be his protector, learning to play with his eyelids until he would fall asleep and I could roam free outside to play. But in the back of my mind, always wondering why you weren't here, not knowing the danger your life could have been in. Mamá, yo me recuerdo when me and my cousin got in a fight over some trivial shit. And out of desperation, I locked myself in Tia Maria's bathroom, tears trickling down my knees, wondering where were you to comfort me because I couldn't wait for you anymore. So the day that we got reunited was one of my most happiest childhood memories. My little hands gripping your face just to know you were real. Y aunque we're so used to not speaking about this little issue of being undocumented, this issue of being undocumented, Mamá, I remember. Mamá, yo me recuerdo. Mamá, yo me recuerdo.
Recently, my grandfather sent me an article entitled, Santa Barbara stores struggle to keep fat burner pill in stock. Top doctors are calling it fat burner in a bottle. I think my grandpa is trying to tell me that I am in a fucking ridiculous city. Honestly, I kind of want to try it. Seriously, I hate shopping now. Honestly, I loved shopping when I was thin. Seriously, when I was a size 1, I honestly felt like a 10. Seriously, doctor. 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 Doctor, I have ADHD. Honestly, I just want to lose weight. Seriously, seriously, the Weekend radio on Pandora. Honestly, Frank Ocean is doing it though. Seriously, why can't men dance with me? Honestly, it's not that hard to dance with us. Honestly, why do men make me crazy? Honestly, I watched this one documentary. It was like when a woman falls in love, her brain functions very much the same way it does when she's obsessed with something. So seriously, you see, ladies, we're not crazy. It's fucking science. And I'm not crazy. Honestly, I feel crazy sometimes when I check your guys' Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube channel, Pinterest account if he has one, and then I search his name on Google at least 20 times a day. Seriously? Seriously, we check these sites constantly anyways, all the time. So if we happen to fall upon their pages, it's not like we are even being obsessed, because he just came up on my newsfeed, and it'd be rude if I didn't at least check it. Because honestly, like, what if you ran into him and he started talking about what he had posted and you just had no idea what he was talking about, and then he'd lose interest in you because his interests aren't your interests and your interests aren't his interests and his interests aren't your interests. Seriously, like, I don't even care. Like, look at me not even caring right now. Like, I have so many other interests. Like Obama. And healthcare, which in this nation are crucial institutions such as regarding the debt ceiling, fiscal cliff. So honestly, it is way too hard to think about Obama and other shit when you have a crush. You know what? I'm done. Seriously, just one more thing. This one time, this guy I call Mitch Bitch texted me that he had heard from some other bitch that I was unsanitary. Honestly, who the frick calls sleeping around being unsanitary? Seriously, I wash my hands, and honestly, even after he implied that I was unsanitary, I still wanted him. Seriously, I'm not crazy. It's natural. Honestly, like, it has something to do with the brain. Seriously. The way the brain functions with all of its, like, neurons and synapses freaks me out. But you know what? Oh God, I can't even say it. But you know what freaks me out more? Middle school kids. Honestly, Cosmo is the fucking Bible, and being with me is a religious experience, and I only hold confession if you know your Hail Mary K's, because the only reason I feel comfortable in front of you is because I'm wearing all this makeup I got from a soccer mom who sells it out the back of her van. Seriously, I hate men who play soccer, honestly. I love men who play soccer, and I think men who play soccer are so sexy, but I think they don't think I'm sexy because I'm not some cute little sorority girl who can wear a tank top without her traps detracting from her cleavage. Seriously, why did water polo have to be my sport? Honestly, like, I love telling people I was an athlete, and I loved having priority registration, because seriously, like, I would have never had priority registration if it weren't for athletics. And honestly, being in chlorine every day of your life sucks. Seriously, when I quit, my hair was finally healthy again. And when I licked my skin, it didn't smell like chlorine anymore. Honestly, though, I hate games. They're stupid, they have to end, and someone always ends up losing. They're fucking shit because the ref made a bad call. He never called, and then not calling is worse than calling late on a Friday night, because at least they're thinking about themselves. Seriously? I have a job at a tech startup. Honestly, I love telling people I have it. But seriously, I fucking hate it. Honestly, like, I miss being a kid. Seriously, do you remember that phase in your childhood when everything was a treasure? Honestly, my toothbrush was a treasure. You know, the one you got from your dentist in a cute little bag with other cute dental accessories like floss and a dental pick? Seriously, who flosses? Honestly, looking back, it makes me realize how important certain things in your life are. Seriously, like flossing. Honestly, like family. And when my brother was hit by a car going 40 miles an hour, and when he survived, I seriously have never treasured anything more in my life. Honestly, I have never treasured anything more in my life. And seriously, I am never serious, but honestly, it's okay to be serious, and seriously, it's okay to be honest.
I bet you think you know me. Don't you? You look at this Hallmark picture frame and think you know the complete package even before you unwrap it, but you don't know me. With your glassy windows, you look and see a girl, then black, or black, then a girl. I don't know, but those two definitely come first. And then you see height, 5'4.5", weight 130, looks cute, beautiful, average, not ugly, but you know. I would date you. I wouldn't date you. Can you get back to me on that one? Yes, I've heard it all. But I'm overwhelmed by the way that you look at me because to you, my exterior defines my superior being. No matter what beauty fills my interior, you know what I mean? Because you already think that you know me. I heard the chat, the buzz, the chatter, the talk, the bullshit. Oh, you know what they say about those black girls? And since you're a black girl, you must, absolutely must, know how to sing, dance, fight, cook, have an attitude, be intimidating, wear a weave, do a weave, take out a weave, and because of that, can't swim, don't swim, or just won't swim. Be promiscuous and on welfare, slang or know someone who does, bang or know someone who does, been to prison to visit your baby daddy or baby daddies, breed like rabbits, uneducated, dependent on everything. Well, can I dance? Yeah. Weave? Yeah. Sing? Yes, I can. Did they also say all black girls are in gospel choir? I have a gospel choir concert right after this, and yet you still don't know me. Sure, I have plenty of family and friends that slang and gang bang and drive me insane with their chosen survival tactics, and yet street smarts is something I don't have. You know my rep, my cred, I ain't got it. In fact, I'm so ignorant that when I was in the 8th grade, my brother tried to get me to smoke a black and mild with him, and I said no. I don't want to get high. He laughed at me for 10 minutes straight. And then he called me a square because I didn't know I couldn't get high off a black and mild. My bad. My GPA speaks for itself, 3.8, so I'm kinda smart. But there's always so many people trying to challenge that just because you know what they say about those black girls, like the guy in my philosophy major who pretty much stalked me for 3 quarters straight. And when he finally did work up the nerve to come and talk to me, the first thing he said was, you know, you're very interesting. You got all this in front of you and the best adjective you can come up with is interesting? I should have hit him with the, what does that mean, white boy? But I didn't want to offend anyone, so I stayed nice, calm, and collected and just asked him, what does that mean, white boy? He obviously didn't know me because 1, I'm in a happy relationship, and 2, I wouldn't have been interested in him even if I wasn't. I don't know how many times my guy friends ask me, playfully yet serious, how my boyfriend puts up with me. They don't understand that what they get is the girl with the permanent bulletproof vest on. The girl with walls so high, China is jealous. The girl has had messed up relationships, messed up childhood, and took every precaution so she no longer believes in great first impressions. What you get is a surrogate of myself. You don't even know that I'm probably one of the most sweet, sincere, kind-hearted, loving. My boyfriend told me one day that he loves that I act so hardcore, but when he holds me, he feels the way I melt in his arms like putty. I denied it, of course, but he's qualified to say that because he knows me. He knows me so well, in fact, that there's not a day that passed by when he doesn't tell me that I'm beautiful, and it's not only because he's a great partner, but it's because he knows that you don't know me. The way that I act as if nothing fazed me, but wear clothes that complement my athletically built frame just to get people to notice me when, seriously, I don't really give a damn what you have to say, and honestly, I just want you to notice me, and seriously, I don't really even know that you notice me. Like, I'm cool with the level 2 type notice, you know, like a smile or smirk, eyebrow raised with that look in the corner of your eye when you walk past, not trying to make it too awkward. I'm even cool with a quick look at the ground. When you caught me noticing you staring at me 5 seconds longer than you should have. See, that's like a 2.5, but I'm cool with that too. What I don't want though is the guy who yelled at me, "Hey, mommy!" And when I didn't acknowledge him because I'm not anyone's mother, he turned all the way around to walk past and backed his dumb ass into a pole. I laughed. he flipped me off. I don't want that kind of attention. I don't even know why I care to be noticed because honestly, I'm loved the man that I'm with and he makes me feel like I'm a queen and he tells me I'm beautiful every single day and I hate myself sometimes because I don't know why that's not enough, but don't sit there and judge me because you don't know me. You see me walk around campus with my head high, able to talk about anything that concerns me, but if you really knew me, you would know that I'm almost like a turtle. The confidence that I seem to have, it's only because of, you know what they say about those black girls gets to me sometimes, so I'll make it my business to be able to articulate an argument so strong that it make Mitt Romney looks bad, although that's not too hard. And my wit and quick tongue to shut down any playful roasting session, and my death glare that I give these white folks when they start getting on my damn nerves, which has been way too often lately. See, all that is my shell. I hide under my own skin because when I look in the mirror every day, beauty is something I just don't see. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that I'm not ugly, but beautiful? Now, that's a stretch. I can always find something. Ew! Look at that bump. Why is my face two different colors? I wish my teeth were straighter. I wish my nails were gross so my hands could be more feminine. I don't even know what that means, but I still want it. I wish my hair would be longer. I wish my eyes were colored. If I had dimples, would that make me beautiful? I think I like my body, but secretly starve myself from carbs time to time just to get that perfect body weight, even though my boyfriend loves my body and hates when I lose weight because he says I lose it in all the right places, if you know what I mean. But I can't take his word for it because he's dumbstruck with love and he's blinded with tunnel vision and he thinks I'm perfect and I'm obviously not perfect, so why can't I just be beautiful? I playfully talk about other people because it hides my own insecurities. So I'm never open. And I don't think anyone actually cares to know me because you know what they say about us black girls.
Reasons why we can't get back together. A list for my future self in moments of weakness. 1. My bed smells like cigarettes and soy sauce. I haven't washed my sheets in months. 2. You fucked someone else while I was in Switzerland. 3. Her name is Sabrina and she is skinny and blonde. 4. When I think about talking to you, I shake and shake and shake like my entire body is convulsing, like there is something inside of me trying to fight its way out. And I don't know whether this is good or bad, but this is my body's way of trying to reach out or warning me to run away. 5. I am a shitty person. 6. You don't know how to talk about your feelings. 7. All I know how to do is talk about my feelings. 8. I take 3 days to text back. 9. Once I ignored your text for 3 months and you still texted me regularly every 3 weeks. 10. But you fucked someone else while I was in Switzerland. 11. Last summer, it took you the entire summer and half a bottle of whiskey to kiss me. 13. On our first date, it took you an hour and 45 minutes to put your arm around my shoulders. 14. Everything I write is addressed to you. Everything I write, I imagine reading to you. Every time I use the word you, I am talking about you. 15, I am scared. 16, I wanted to tell you about the big bad thing, but I couldn't. 17, I wanted to tell you I wanted to get back together, but I couldn't. 18, and then you fucked someone else while I was in Switzerland. 19, when I found out, you asked my friend Sophia how long she thought it would be until I got over it and started talking to you again. 20, the answer is 3 months. 21, I am selfish. 22, when I'm around you, I play with my hair so much that my bangs get greasy. 22, after the big bad thing, I can't really feel anything down there. 23, 24, you never even tried to go down on me. 25, I get too drunk and vomit in flower boxes and Eskimo kiss other boys and call you blacked out and yell and cry and hurt you and hurt you. 26, I am self-destructive. 27, I write things about you that embarrass you and share them with large audiences. 28, you don't like to talk on the phone. 29, I don't like to drive on the freeway. 30, you are too tall to fit in my bed and you're a heavy breather and you steal the covers and I talk in my sleep and sometimes I say things about you. 31, it takes really skilled angling to get both of our heads in the same picture. 32, your mom still scares the shit out of me. 33, my little sister still asks me about you. 34, our friends hate us because we're always either fighting or hooking up. 35, we have too many mutual friends. 36, everyone knows you fucked someone else while I was in Switzerland. 37, you forgive me too easily. 38, sometimes you part your hair different and for a split second you look like Ryan Gosling. 39, you hurt me. 40, you hurt me. 41, you hurt me. 42, you don't realize when you do things that hurt me. 43, I lied to you about having finished Infinite Jest. 44, I lied to you about having finished Ulysses. 45, I lied to you about not wanting to get back together. 46, sometimes when you smile, your face looks like a cartoon. 47, when you get too drunk, you get handsy with my friends and vomit in the backseat of my mom's car. 48, we can make each other come in under 3 minutes just because we've been doing it for so long. 49, I haven't found anyone in this world I like better than you. 50, I'm scared I never will.
Fact. The number one erogenous zone in your body is your mind. I've been thinking a lot lately. I've been with a few guys. I've been on a few. I've had a few dates. Just to clarify, I consider a date to be anything where he takes you somewhere extremely romantic or pays, like the local Lollicup, where my first boyfriend and I shared balls of tapioca at age 15. He wore his hair long, thick, and curly like Neil. His black top hat had cards slipped in the side. Literally, that was his style, not some sort of metaphor you're not getting. Like, ace, ace, ace meant he was having a really great day. But it wasn't in the cards for me, so my first real date came later. Age 16, a major league douchebag with one too many Y's in his name and a tattoo dedicated to fly fishing on his bicep told me, "If you're not careful, Demi, you might get hooked." And at the subway, he took me after school in his rundown baby blue Chevrolet Caprice with the passenger side door that wouldn't open from the inside because it was a classic, aka a creepy-ass rape mobile. He insisted on finishing the second half of my sandwich, again, not a metaphor. Even though I was sick, I coughed the whole time, hoping he wouldn't kiss me. He still tried, and that 10-second pause between me denying him and him getting out of the car to walk around to my side to let me out. Thanks. Remains my epitome of awkwardness. Actually, I dated the epitome of awkwardness, or non-dated. You know when a guy asks you out to coffee, but you convince yourself it's not a date because he's Canadian and your gay best friend has a crush on him? Well, we'd sneak into his parents' empty vacation home and make out on the golf course or living room floor, but I always had to make the first move. Was I barking up the wrong tree, or was he just shy, lacking confidence? Either way, I was never given any hard evidence. Then came the hipster bro, who was very romantic in the beginning. Flowers, dinners, handcuffs. He paid for everything. Until he left for college and presumably spent his entire parents' savings on textbooks, Adderall, and fucking. Endless stacks of Trojan pleasure packs line the dormitory walls, overflowing into common areas. And it adds up. Living at FT, then on DP, he couldn't be too careful, but you know, we weren't faced to be a fish anymore, so let's be honest, I saw other people too. There was Ryan, Randy, Raul, Pablo, Dustin, Cesare, Kanye West, Eric, Tracy, Elijah, Stacy, Charles, Bukowski. One was a purple-haired gun salesman who bored me so much during our 35 minutes at the pizza kitchen. I spent a week drinking white wine and Sprite in the bathtub, watching Sex and the City reruns. Like, I totally understand what Carrie is going through there. Just no good straight men in the Palm Springs area. Another was a part-time dancer, full-time DJ who drove a PT Cruiser and took every opportunity he had to hand me $20 bills. Finder's fees, he said, for finding him gigs at all of my high school friends' graduation parties. Repeat, I was in high school. He was 27, no big deal. Anyway, in the end, I think he wasted his money. I was scared off by his habit of shaving his entire body, including fingers, to the last one. He was a little younger, 23, went to the local CC, was majoring in blogging, minoring in 99% hunger strike strategy. He wore ladies' cardigans, rings with rhinestones in them, and a leave a little room in that weird guy latte. I'ma top it off for you. He had a fake glass eyeball. Again, not a metaphor. It would roll around a little and catch you off guard if you weren't paying attention. On our third date, he told me he was fucking with my mind. I guess that was fun for him. I mean, my mind's kind of hot, but the mind was as far as he got because the one time we almost kissed, he tripped and cut his lip open on my teeth. It kind of killed the mood between him bleeding and me laughing.
I'm not an easy person to date. I have a crazy schedule. I know my way around a rifle. Ever heard of a grammar Nazi? Ich bin der Gestapo. I throw a mean right hook, and most nights, instead of sexy time, I'd rather look at pictures of cats on the internet and then go to bed. And if we're dating, I'm probably going to write a poem about you sooner or later, and you'll hope that it's sooner because the later poems, well, I'll use some metaphors you may not appreciate, like Tom is an iPad, but Jared is a mini. I've been thinking a lot lately. I think that my type is weird and patient, quiet but funny. Probably Massimino's 15 years older than me. I've been thinking a lot that I found him. And if I'm lucky, later tonight, we're going to go back to my place. We're going to light some candles, put some hot water in the bathtub I bleached earlier today. Pour a little white wine, a little Sprite, get comfortable. And then he's going to take out his iPad, and we're going to look at cat gifs on Image all night long while we upvote each other with our eyes, which are 100% real. No room for glass balls or tapioca balls or fishing puns or Sex in the City reruns. No more metaphors. Just me and my man, naked, in the bathtub. But probably not, because baths are disgusting straight up.
I work at a hotel. You know those places where people eat, sleep, shit, have sex, film sex? Girl, you want to come to my hotel type of hotel? See, they should really call them helltels, because people on Yelp and TripAdvisor just like you talking shit about us all the time. It's like, oh my gosh, girl, don't ever stay there. That place was complete hell. Oh my gosh, that place was horrible. Don't ever fucking say that they had rats and shit on the wall and like all this stuff. Except for the really nice guy at the front desk. The nice guy at the front desk would be me, the nice guy that can't get rid of this smile on. See, last time I walked into class the other day and my professor was like, why are you late? I really wanted to tell him that my tire pod, but I was just like... And then this guy came to the desk the other day and he was just like, excuse me, young man, my Wi-Fi's not working. Was that a smirk? Well, I'm trying to help. You know people have to work around here? See, working at the hotel, I can get really upset and still be the nice guy, but it's the type of upset you can't really do shit about. Kind of like when the Lakers have this awesome team right now and they still can't win for shit, and then we're like the Dodgers. See the Giants win the World Series after they formed this awesome team? You guys, man. When you're a man and you have long hair and then people are trying to give it to you and it's just not working, or when I'm on stage saying jokes and it's just not working either, or, you know, when my girlfriend comes around and she has her Aunt Flo and it's just not working during that time, so, oh man, see, but I'm like the Bruce Banner type of mad, the type of mad that can take so much shit until I become the big, ugly green guy, and so, working at the hotel, I try to be the nice guy by raising my voice 20 times higher and just standing behind the desk. Welcome! Checking in? How can I help you? Wait, you don't have a reservation? You don't have a reservation because you booked over a year ago and you don't have your confirmation number? You think you put it under your friend's last name whose last name starts with the letter H? H as in hurry the fuck up because there's 1,000 people trying to check in because the blizzard just closed down the freeway and now they're asking for an extra rollaway bed, a crib, some condoms, a plunger, and some toothbrushes? Wait, you don't have a reservation because you booked for yesterday's night and not tonight? And now it's my fault that we're all sold out? And now you think I'm lying to you. You think I'm lying to you because you're staring outside looking at our 6-story building with over 200 rooms, and you think I'm lying to you. You're a liar. You're a liar. What the fuck do you think I am? What the fuck? You think I'm a construction worker? What the fuck do you want me to do? Build a hotel for you? You want me to build that shit for you? What? You want me to put some wood in that shit? You want me to grab some nails and start pounding that shit for you? What? You want me to grab a pool for you? What? You want an oceanside view? What? You want me to grab the ocean for you too? What the fuck do you want me to do? What? What? You're not understanding? What? You want to tell me in Spanish? Ya tenemos más cuartos, homie. What? What? Is complimentary breakfast free? Is complimentary breakfast free? Is complimentary breakfast free? The breakfast is free, motherfucker! Here are your keys and enjoy your stay.
All Russian grandmothers are the same. They all look like cream puffs, short and round and full of saturated fat. They all have that same over-perfumed smell, the same tiger-striped hair, the same tacky clothing, the same greasy cooking, and the same twisted mind. My grandmother, Luda, growing up with the pigs and dogs in a village in Belarus, always dreamed that I would be the aristocrat she could never pass for. I remember driving with her in Kazakhstan. Luda was speeding and my grasshopper body was folded up in the front seat. No belt. Luda follows only the traffic rules she considers important, and soon we were getting pulled over. She seemed annoyed as she spoke to the cop. "А вы знаете, кто я?" "My apologies, Judge Shostakova. You have a good night." Luda had risen as far as a village girl could, but the well-bred nose can always detect the smell of peasant birth, the pigs and the dogs, no matter how much foreign perfume you try to cover it with. When my mother was born, doe-eyed and pale, Luda had the opportunity to sculpt the perfect lady. So she began to hammer and chisel. My mother lived under Luda's thumb, born and bred to be everything Luda couldn't. Until she got pregnant. At 18, by a luge athlete/model who wasn't her husband. Maybe it wasn't enough time. Maybe one generation isn't enough to distill the heat of peasant blood. Maybe, just maybe, the bastard would be a bitch and with the right training, could one day be a show dog. Her determination was more like madness, and she made it her mission to raise me right, which in Russian grandmother talk translates to try to control and manipulate all aspects of my life. There was the etiquette. Yanchik, stand up straight. You like be hunchback. You stand like that, you get stuck like that. Quasimodo. There were lessons and books about napkin folding, guest greeting, hair combing, toilet flushing, and everything else 8-year-old me couldn't care less about. But I was the girl with perfect posture and better manners. Adults would coo with delight as I pranced about them, a puppet on Luda's invisible strings. Then there was the subject of college. Yanchik, please. Please, 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 please. You go to good school. There are 4 good schools. 4. A Harvard, a Yale, a Berkeley, and Stanford. Those were the good schools because Luda had heard of them. Any other school was obviously an unprestigious shithole for dumb, lazy people because if it weren't, Luda would have heard about it. Yanchik. Why? What is this U-C-S-B? This school has not even a real name. Just 4 letters. USP? Why not Berkeley at least? Luda, I don't think I'll get in. In Russian grandmother talk, this translates to, I really, really want to, but I'm scared and have low self-esteem and really need you to butt in and push me. Yanchik, did I tell you that I have hairdresser who have friend who have nephew, who go to Berkeley last year. If he go, why not you? You smarter anyway, and prettier. The most recent topic, as I approach the appropriate childbearing age, has been the ensnarement of a suitable husband, a tall, well-bred man with ambitions and connections. I'm sure she breathed a sigh of great relief when my drug-dealing, white rapper soulmate from a dirt road in South Dakota got wrapped up in our bitterness and said he wasn't ready to build our treehouse and have children in the wilderness. To date, I think Luda has only approved of one of my relationships. It was in the 2nd grade when I dated the grandson of Kazakhstan's dictator. Yanchik, why don't you look him up on the Facebook? We could be royalty. Try as she did to make me a class act, there's always been a hint of trashy to me. Free from her watchful eye, I'd steal her cigarettes and run with a crowd that was always too old for me. She dreamt of ballet and piano, and I loved wrestling and hip-hop. She thought politics, journalism, law at least, and I am at UCSB studying bugs on kelp leaves. A small, vengefully rebellious part of me wants her to know that I will never succumb and let her mold me from the ashes of her dreams. Or maybe a large part of me, scared, already molded and in denial, wants to deface and vandalize everything she's made me that I never asked for.
I have a plan, brewing like root beer on the backs of my hands, so you can't see it yet. You can't hear what I hear, the sweetness of sound as it bubbles up my spine, overflowing my mind like the slide of the knife as Roberto slices through scales of a giant fish as they go flying everywhere, while he scales the range of his voice to the unta, unta, unta of his favorite songs. Que tontos, que locos somos tuyo, with a thwack as he chops off the head, or the attack of a bow on a string as it sings its serenades, mimicking the calls of birds, or a warm whispering wind to a wine bottle, revealing its first breath. I hear these sounds, these pitches, and know their faces. I can call them by their name. This is D. This is B flat. This is an A, which is almost always the sound that a truck makes when it's going in reverse. And fluorescent lights, they usually hum at around an F. But like 3 octaves higher, and projectors usually hum at around an E. And C, this is a dissonance. They just don't sound right together. Didn't anybody think about the perfect pitch people when they designed the world that they live in? Because while I recognize these notes like I recognize my best friend's face, sometimes they just get stuck in my head, piercing pitches filling the spaces in my brain, rattling the inside of my skull. I'm obsessed with harmony because I need an escape from the dissonance of this chaotic, cacophonous world of conflicting sounds. Sometimes I find it in the Indonesian gamelan-infused hip-hop artist that tells me knowledge is power and power is something to be shared. Sometimes it's Antonin Dvorak, whose melodies taught me how to love. Sometimes it's Southern All-Stars, whose songs show me the secrets to my Japanese heritage. Sometimes I play guitar. Sometimes I play piano. Sometimes I sing. I have a plan hidden on the backs of my hands for you to be able to sing in harmony with me. And yes, that is directed at you, my truth, my love, my everything. And yes, that is directed at you, my dearest friends and family. And yes, that is directed at you who lives across many seas, who I don't know by sight or from memory, because I have no enemies and I have no starved desires, but one. So, at long last, let me hear you sing. Let me hear you sing with me. So I'm going to give each section a pitch, and I want you to hum this pitch.
And if you need to take a breath, of course, take a breath. But don't stop humming. Just keep going. Even if I'm speaking, just keep humming and let your voice fill the space. So I'm going to start from my left. If you would please stand. And this is your pitch. And keep going. In case you're wondering, this is a C. Now in the middle, please stand. Here's your pitch. This is an E. And on my right, please stand. This is your pitch. This is a G. And now let it out. Open your mouths and let our voices fill this space. Let your voice raise like the sun and the stars and the moon and the sky that all watch over us. And as we stop, let us embrace the silence and the sound. Our neighbors and loved ones, this space and everyone in it, everyone who performed for you on this stage tonight, and everyone who made it possible for us to do so. Everything in between that we share. Thank you for coming.
It sounded beautiful. That was amazing. All right, before we let you all go, I have a few words. I'm Demi. I TA'd the class this quarter. And usually we have a class MVP, but since it was such a tiny class with only 9 people, and they still managed to present this amazing show for you all, so it should be very... we decided to get awards for everybody. So, Asia had to go, so someone can accept her award on her behalf, but she gets the Catitude Award. Tungbu, for your squishiness, you get a nice little squishy, kind of looks like a boob. Neil, for the most beautiful mane in the room, you get the Lion Award. Yana, for always presenting such juicy, juicy pieces, you get the Juicy Fruit Award. Shio, for bringing beautiful music into all of our hearts and ears, the Songbird. Eric, for legoing of your inhibitions. Amy, you remind me of a toucan because you're small but you're loud. And you always dress real cool. So here's a little guy for you. Where's Jess? Oh, Jess, for coming out of your shell this quarter in such a magnificent way. Get a little turtle face. And Kelly, for being the most beautiful and funny raccoon I've ever met. All right, thank you guys so much for making this quarter a pleasure to help.
And we would also like to give this very special thanks to Kip Fulbeck, who is the professor of the class, and Demi Anthony. Thank you so much. We love you.
one more last round for these guys. Thank you guys for coming out.